Hello twin flames and welcome to the DM to DF reading for Monday, a new week. And what a beautiful message came through yesterday, with Blooming Arrows cards. Gorgeous channeled message where the masculine is letting you know he's going to do this the right way because he respects you and honours you and he wants to be with you in a very committed way. I see marriage in the future for you guys and, spending time and sharing your love with the world. So the people that you are close to and the people that they are close to know about your connection. So if it's all hidden away right now behind closed doors and it all feels a bit clandestine, cloak and dagger, it's all going to come out into the open. And I feel this is also what your masculine is wanting you to know, that they may have talked to people about you, not necessarily, in a really in-depth way where they'd be vulnerable with that, but where they may have said, have you seen that person? Do you think she's pretty? Or what do you think of him then? Or especially if you're on social media, if you have an Instagram or a Facebook account or you're on YouTube or something like that, I feel they may have brought you up in a conversation, especially with friends. Even if they're in a karmic situation, people they trust, I feel they may have been opening up a little bit with. And that's a very powerful thing, especially at this time of the year. And if you're not on social media, but you've sent them a picture or, they've got access to something about you, they may have done the same thing. So, just a heads up with that, make sure your picture on social media is how you want it to be, because this is a time of year now where things are changing. The masculines are going to be seeking you out. So they may be very curious right now what you're doing and what you're up to online, who you're with, what you're doing, where you're going. And, I'm not on social media apart from TikTok and here, but this would be the time of year now. If I was on there, that I would be updating my profile picture and maybe putting something a bit Christmassy on or maybe wearing something a bit bling, so that your masculine sees you at your very best. And so you may want your masculine to see you in a picture by yourself. You may not want to see, a picture with someone else, whether it's you and your karmic partner or it's you and a friend or you and a family member. You might want to make it just about you feeling powerful. Very interesting. So let's see what the masculines want you to know. What do the masculines want you to know today? Thank you, angels. Wow, jump straight out. So the message is, I sometimes check my phone hoping to see a message from you. Now, that's the energy of the divine feminine most of the time. We are thinking, are they going to message? I hope you message me. So we can constantly be checking our phone. And sometimes as a divine feminine, that can drive us a bit mad. Because when the message isn't there, we start getting frustrated or angry or, thinking there's something wrong. But your masculine is actually saying to you, sometimes I check my phone hoping to see a message from you. And that's the easy way out. The masculine sometimes really try and manifest that message from you so that they haven't got to take a risk by initiating contact. Because if they initiate contact with you, you might reject them or you might be with someone else. And that's scary for them. It makes them vulnerable. So he's saying, sometimes I hope that you message me. And you do message your twin when you're guided to, but he's letting you know that he has that hope there too, especially this time of the year, because he does want to reconcile with you and sort things out and clear the air. And he doesn't want to be miserable at Christmas. He wants to communicate with you because you light him up. I should have listened to you from the start. So he's saying to you, of course you were right about everything, but I had to come to my own conclusions. I should have listened to you from the start. But that type of energy, shoulda, woulda, coulda, doesn't really serve anything. That's just letting you know that he knows that you were right, he understands, and he's preparing to listen to you. I've told, listen to this for powerful. This is the energy I've been picking up on. I've told those close to me. So that could be a family member, it could be a friend. Okay, it could even be someone he's connecting with right now, like a therapist. Okay, so remember, it's not always what you think. Rise above the ego, fear, and think, who would this person be? Maybe he's talking to his guardian angel, or he's talking to his family in heaven. Okay, if you're thinking, he just wouldn't talk about me to anyone, Remember, you just don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't know what's going on in his heart. You feel it, but you feel the love. And you know what it's like. You love your twin. You want to talk about him. Why? Because you're proud of him. You're proud of him and what he's achieved and who he is. And he's proud of you and what you've achieved and who you are. So, of course, he's going to want to talk about you. And it drives him crazy sometimes that he can't. And he's saying here, I've told those close to me that I've thought about proposing to you. Wow. I've thought about proposing to you. Now, it's a bit different if there's a karmic partner. Because, he's not going to tell people he's close to about these things because he knows he has to release himself from that first. And he doesn't want to cause any problems. He doesn't want to open a can of worms by saying things and then, lots of chaos coming from that by that person finding out prematurely or any of these things. He knows he has to do things the right way. But I do feel he's been having these types of conversations with his angels and his loved ones in heaven and even a friend he really does trust. So I do feel these types of communications have, occurred. And you might be thinking, well, how? And, just trust, okay? Have faith that he's proud of you and he wants others to see that. And he wants to know that, wow, do you see what I see? So he's saying to other people, but definitely people in heaven, I've thought about proposing to you. I've shown what you look like to those close to me. Wow. I've shown what you look like. Now, I've just spoke about making sure your profile picture is up to date and maybe a bit blingy, a bit of sparkle. It's Christmas. Because he's saying here, I've shown what you look like to those close to me. So there's someone who's close to him that he's talking to. Okay, that could be a friend. It could be a family member. It could be someone in heaven. So you think about it. Sit with the message. Even connect with him on the 5D and say, who are you talking to me about? What's this all about? Because he's proud of you. The underlying reason behind this is he's proud of you and he's excited by you and he wants others to see how amazing you are. So he might not necessarily be saying, oh, this is the person that I love, especially if he's with a karmic partner, but he might be saying, have you seen this person's profile? Don't you think they're attractive or interesting or special? So he's bringing you up in some way because he wants to. I've shown what you look like to those close to me. So he's shown someone your picture or a video of you or something connecting with you. And again, it won't resonate with everyone, but if he does, and it's hitting you in the feels, then this message is for you. It's hurting so much not being around you. That's why he wants to talk about you. You know that's true. That's how it is. When you're not with someone and you're hurting because you're missing them, you want to talk about them with other people. It's hurting not being around you. And not with you, around you. That means he wants to be around you. He wants to be around people who know you or are connecting with you because it makes him feel better. I regret bringing the karmic around. So the karmic around, I feel this means going round and round in circles, but bringing the karmic around into your energy field so you maybe see them or saw them. So that could be on social media. That could be about triggers. We've been talking about that on the weekend, especially Saturday, about the eyes and not liking what you see. Maybe you brought the karmic partner somewhere you were and that really triggered you, or it made you feel, hurt in some way. And he's saying, I'm sorry I did that. I regret doing that. Okay, and he's also, I feel there's this real energy where maybe you've said to your masculine, you shouldn't be with that person, or that person isn't good for you, or, you've brought something up about their connection. And he's saying, I know you're right. Okay, I should have listened to you from the start, and I regret bringing the karmic around, or I regret all of this happening. I want to ask you what I should do. So he's saying your opinion and your take on my life and what I'm doing matters. And I want you to tell me what to do. Now, it doesn't work like that because the masculines have to take control. The feminines have to let go of the control by trying to be the solution bringer and the healer and the rescuer and instead just nurturing the self and allowing the masculine to take control. You know, I've spoke about this the other day, taking the stabilizers off the bike. You know, it's like the feminine is watching the masculine ride this bike and the stabilizers are on. And, you know, at some point you've got to take those stabilizers off and let them do their own thing. You know, let them learn to move on their own. And that's what he's got to do. He's got to make that move on his own without you being that, you know, reassuring energy. But you're always there because you're the guiding light and you're talking to him in the 5D. But he's saying, I want to ask you what I should do because I should have listened to you in the first place. So he may even contact you asking for your advice. But remember, advice from a place of love, not fear. Don't tell him what he should do. Tell him what, you know, what you think and you feel is right from a higher point of view. I know I've been playing myself. So he's saying, I've been playing myself, hurting myself, messing myself around by messing you around. And I've been thinking of blocking the Karmic on social media. Wow. Even if they are together, he's been thinking about blocking her or him because he doesn't like her being around, or, you know, he doesn't like the energy that she brings to your connection because you may be triggered by certain things. So he's saying, I've been thinking of blocking the Karmic. I've been thinking of letting go completely and walking away. And he needs to heal that, you know, that's quite like a bit of a childish thing to do, you know, because he's saying, I've been playing myself, you know, I've been thinking about blocking the Karmic. Instead of doing that, what he needs to do is face the Karmic and admit his truth and make changes. That's what he needs to do. But it's like he's saying to you, you know, I'm apologising for that person being around me or other people being around me, because these aren't always lovers. You know, these could be family people, you know, people that are getting to him in some way, friends, you know, people at work. He said, I'm thinking about blocking that Karmic. And also what I'm feeling with the blocking is about walking away from like a fear-based energy, such as an addiction or a thought, blocking that thought, moving on from that thought. So instead of blocking those feelings out or blocking that situation or person, he knows he really needs to deal with this and heal it. But right now, you're what's on his mind, because I'm feeling a lot of heat between the two of you, especially since that channel conversation where so much love poured through. And even just connecting with him through that reading, he will have felt that surge of energy and you will have felt it too. And it activated something primal within you to bring you back together. So you may be feeling all the heat and the Kundalini rising as things move ahead. But he's definitely been talking about you, about being with you, proposing to you in the future commitments, and also about getting other people's opinions on you because he's proud of you and he wants them to see what he sees. And he wants to talk about you because he's missing you and he wants to be around your energy. And he's apologising for anything karmic that's going on. So let me know if that resonates in the comments, if you've been changing your picture or maybe he's changed his picture. And this is a big sign of things coming forward. I hope this helps. Have a great day and I'll see you soon.